This is Hutton House, a resounding success. A home base that connects people with the community. A place to try new things and enjoy programs in arts and drama, adult literacy, and more. A place to make friends, meet new people, feel valued and safe, and where accomplishments are celebrated. Most importantly, a foundation to build self-esteem and independence. When you see the people who are part of all of this, it's something to celebrate every day. In 2013, there's an extra reason to celebrate. 2013 marks 60 years since the beginnings of what we now know as Hutton House. It's hard to imagine our community without Hutton House, but in 1950, Hutton House was only a dream, a vision. This is the story of how that dream came true. It started with a group of people who called themselves the Association for Handicapped Adults. They knew people with disabilities should not be confined to home or institutions. They believed that by reducing physical and other barriers, young eager minds could be challenged and the full capacity of those with challenges relating to a disability could be realized. One of the big challenges was transportation. In 1952, special arrangements enabled people to get to the annex of the YMCA on Wellington Street in downtown London to attend workshops and classes where they learned viable skills in everything from weaving to pottery. Success was immediate. In 1953, the organization moved to a house on Queens Avenue. In 1954, the association was on the move again, this time to a retired military building at 725 Quebec Street. In November 1954, just 2 years after its modest beginning, an official ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrated this dedicated location that meant staff and volunteers could develop more meaningful programs. Even more significant, earlier that year, in March, the association was granted a provincial charter, the first of its kind in Ontario. This early success fueled the association's dedicated volunteers and the community. There was a growing awareness of the needs and desires of persons with physical challenges, and they received support, and lots of it. From fashion shows to Christmas parties, from ballroom dances to baseball games and bingos, firemen, policemen, women's clubs, sororities, and service clubs helped the association. The association's clients contributed through the sale of crafts and goods they produced. By the late 1950s, the association was well established. This full-page ad invited Londoners to attend an open house at the Quebec Street Workshop. In the early 60s, the association was really going places. A donated, retired LTC bus was altered to accommodate 10 wheelchairs and 16 passengers. Driven by off-duty LTC drivers, it took members to such popular spots as the beach at Grand Bend, to Point Edward, to Springbank Park, and on tours of the city. Before accessible buses and vans, people with physical disabilities couldn't enjoy a part of life taken for granted by most. No wonder they nicknamed the bus the Happy Wanderer. There was even more travel possible when the East London Lions Club donated a van in 1965. By the early 1970s, a larger building was needed. A 3-year search ended when the Board of Education declared some school buildings as surplus. The Hutton School on Oxford Street at Wonderland was one of them. Acquiring the school took over a year. It was a drama that involved London City Council, London Fire Services, the Board of Education, Gulf Oil, who owned land needed for access, lawyers, and deadlines. It was eagerly followed by readers of the London Free Press and, of course, by clients, staff, and members of the association. That drama ended with a happy beginning. On November 21, 1973, Londoners were invited to the official opening of Hutton House. It had taken 20 years. That same year, there was more good news when the program became funded by the Ministry of Community and Social Services. Recognizing the importance of lifelong learning, the newly funded agency introduced a literacy program, the first sheltered workshop in the province to offer such a program. In the 1980s, the number of participants and programs grew. The old school, from around 1850, had a dirt basement floor, no insulation, an ancient boiler for heating, and forced staff, volunteers, and participants to cope with the wild animals in the attic and basement. And so the association said goodbye on October 1986 when a brand new 15,000 square foot building known as Hutton House was officially opened on the same site. Once again, the community supported the organization. $1.1 million was raised to fund the new building. In 1973, there were 32 to 40 participants. In 1992, the association served 200 individuals. The mailroom and contract services had been mechanized. 3 retail stores had been opened at various times, in addition to an outlet at Springbank Park. Wholesale sales of ceramics and weaving achieved a national profile. However, during the 1990s, the landscape was changing. People with disabilities wanted a stronger voice in their future, and Hutton House listened. While Hutton House continued to operate its businesses, for true community inclusion, a shift in direction was needed. Individuals with disabilities wanted competitive jobs in the community, opportunities to volunteer and contribute to the community, to learn new skills, a place for persons with more significant needs to spend their day. So the 1990s became a decade of transition. A retail training program was introduced in our retail stores. Access volunteerism placed individuals as volunteers in not-for-profit agencies, one of the first in Canada. The Ministry of Health sponsored Daybreak, a program for individuals with complex needs, and literacy programs grew exponentially. Change and growth continued into the new century. By 2002, Hutton House had developed employment programs to replace the sheltered workshop, which officially closed in 2003. For those not able to access competitive employment, new learning opportunities were created through artworks, drama, music, storytelling, art, and LifeWorks, life skills. In 2007, fitness, life coaching, nutrition, and healthy living programs were introduced. To this day, Hutton House continues to diversify its service delivery in accordance with the interests, needs, and abilities of participants. At 60 years young, Hutton House is well established and a resounding success. Each year, opportunities for over 750 individuals with disabilities are provided. Of those, over 150 each year secure jobs in the community. 150 participate in literacy programs. 300 participate in day programs. 125 volunteers give 17,000 hours annually to local agencies. Each year, everyone's accomplishments at Hutton House are celebrated through adult education and access volunteerism award nights, plays and music productions, art shows, and employment graduation ceremonies. As Hutton House highlights its 60th anniversary, the celebration of success continues. Hutton House continues to rely on volunteers, participants, board members, staff, donors, partner agencies, and funders to tell us how we're doing, and we're gratified by their support and with the occasional award. The journey of Hutton House is defined by those we serve. Self-determination is the key. People are provided with control over their lives, provided with options, and the opportunity to make their own decisions. These are the underpinnings of the organization. Hutton House is there to facilitate personal growth and accomplishment. Looking to the next 60 years, what an exciting future it will be. Increased accessibility and inclusive practices will have a positive impact on the community. Technology will unlock incredible opportunities for growth and communication, helping individuals achieve even greater independence and community involvement. The same spirit and dedication that sparked the beginning in 1953 continues to energize and build Hutton House. We celebrate our past because it's a vision for our future as we celebrate Hutton House at 60.